Welcome, my prodigies, to the first tribal council in the inaugural season of Spellbound Survivor. Um, this is the part where I have to show off that I know my propstisms to say, dip your torch in the fire, and fire represents your life. And once the fire is gone, so are you. But we're not doing this. This is a Zoom call. So we're just going to get right into just the questions. Obviously, we competed in a game of loop over. Whoever was able to compete in the fastest amount of time would win immunity. Mago won by a sizable margin, sending Sahir here to the first tribal council, and which one of these technically is 8, but only 7 attending right now at this point. One of the 8 people here will 7 plus Mac, basically 7 or potentially Mac, will be the first person voted off of this game. And I'm just going to go over some questions, just try to gauge how everything has been. Minor, since obviously you guys have attended the first tribal council of the season, you guys have quickly shifted from the day 0 of getting to talk to everybody to the day 1 where you're delegated, you're now restricted to talking to only this group of people, and now already having to strategize. How has it been trying to balance and try to adapt so early on into the game?
Okay, I guess since you don't have to talk to 15 other people. But yeah, it's a smaller amount of people, and then that means that it's easier to talk to people. Yeah, what was your other part?
It's just how has it been trying to adapt to this larger group of people, still trying to maintain some kumbaya with the smaller group of 8, but then now already having to go to tribal council? How's it been transitioning to?
Oh, switching. It's been different because we all vibe. But then now having to switch to game, it's just switch. It's a quick switch, so you have to get used to it before. I think it's been okay.
That's always good to hear. Okay is better than bad. Okay is better than mediocre. We'll take okay. Pete, there's some people who may see that there may be some benefits already going to tribal council. Mago has not had to have the conversation some have already had, to build your bonds, to see who your true allies are. This is going to be the first true, a trust fall, if you will. This will be a test of which relationships are going to flourish in this game moving forward, and which people whom you haven't invested with much in the past, how much power or leeway you have in this game. So what's your stance on that? Do you think there's some pros to going to the first tribal council, or would you much rather just have that immunity?
Okay. Wait. Can y'all hear me? Yeah? Okay. I guess there's tribals where you test everyone's word. That's where you put pen to paper on, what you said. The first tribal, though, I'd prefer not. Not about it. I don't think it's, really fun to have to meet all these people and then within a few days already have to decide, all right, time for strategy, time to try to make my way in good and have to single someone out. So I guess maybe the 3rd or 4th tribal would have been fine, but definitely not liking the first. No, thank you.
The rep to going to the first tribal council. I think it's very tough to make a decision on the first day because it's so little to base off of what your rationale is for targeting somebody or somebody else. Maybe if you attend multiple tribal councils down the road, it transitions from tribe strength, challenge strength, who is the best at certain different categories and types of challenges, or are we basing it off of the relationship, the trust, the loyalty that has been built up? But we don't really have much to go off of here. So Jake, what do you think this tribal will come down to, if there is any theme or any recurring question as far as debating who should go home?
I honestly don't know. There's a lot of different factors you can look at. Prior connections are huge. Challenge performance is huge. Who you talks to enough people is also a pretty big one. And any three of those could be an option. It's pretty much how connected you feel, and some people might not feel as connected as others, which raises some concerns. But yeah.
I think that I like that. So I'm gonna start using that. But I don't know why. I'm so easy to amuse, regardless. But anyways, so let's go to Zach actually, because the twin twist is indeed a thing. In order for you to be able to have an open line of communication with these people, ideally we do not know the breakup of these pairs. Maybe there's technically this tribe could be composed of 4 sets of twins. It could be broken off where some are together, some are distanced off from one another. How do you feel about navigating this twist? Yeah.
It's an interesting one because, as you mentioned, your twin could be on the other tribe. They could be here with you. But, if they're on the same tribe as you can be voted out unanimously. Fun fact. So there's that. At least you'll be voted out 6-0 on this tribe. So there's that. But like I said, they could be on the other tribe. It could be someone you have a previous relationship with. It could be not. But at the end of the day, my focus is on this tribe and what's best for us. So it doesn't really affect it that much, in my opinion. Because what's one more vote at the end of the day?
It's one more vote at the end of the day. The vote's the most precious, most valuable thing in this game. It's your statement. It's your voice being heard at tribal council, whether it's you're in the majority or in the minority. You still have a vote. You still have a voice in which to speak. And so
what if you and your supposed twin don't agree on something? You might not have your vote. You're the one who made that twist, so you might not have a vote.
You may not have a voice. You guys, your 2 brain cells are fighting with one another, and you guys just will not agree on enough vote consensus. But so Tanner, even if it's not your twin, you still need to find somebody in this game. You still need to find someone to be trustworthy enough to bounce ideas off of, someone you can strategically collaborate with. So how do you find that person when it's only been 3 days? Like, what are you be looking for, Tanner?
I think someone who can have my back and who I can trust. That's what I look for when my twin is on the other tribe.
It's interesting. So maybe, if Tanner's correct, then maybe this isn't a group full of sets and pairs. But before we get right into the votes and get into the deadline, Sunshine, my guy, my boy. There's this one word that really stuck out. It's relationships. A lot of past history, people have played multiple different games together. People are close inside and outside of orgs in general. There can be pre-existing relationships that are stronger than those of others, whether it be positive or negative. How much do you think those are going to come into play in this game? Or do you think more new relationships, new bonds, new friendships are going to be cultivated, and that's what's going to matter the most at the end of the day?
I think that if you play and you have your heart set on like previous relationships, like you don't get to know somebody. When I first started playing orgs, I was always like, oh yeah, like I played with a person this in a previous game before, and like I was not willing to work with that person. And then like I met up with that person later down in like a few games later, and like we became best friends. Like I feel like when you do start a fresh game, like it's a new slate to me, like to see where like this person is just starting from square one. Like why should like a past game reflect like a new game? So I think it is a new time to like make better bonds. And maybe like the person that like you played with before that you didn't like, you guys were on butting heads, like, and you're on this tribe now, like maybe like if you guys work together, like you guys are like a force, like, you know what I'm saying?
Saying, as somebody who is spent in this community as well, I could say I'm just making sure I've hosted 2 of you, been on prod with 1 of you, played with 3 of you, and that's not even including members of prod who I've recently played with and been on. Technically, I've been on the hosting team with all of them. This is the hosting team. So even if I were participating in this game, there's already people in this group whom I could say I have pre-existing relationships, and some of which I do not. So it's always going to be exciting, especially day 3. There's so much time for things and dynamics to change, relationships to grow, relationships to crack and to falter. Karen, I do not know if you're available to speak.
Yes, I'm
Oh my
waiting.
God,
Do I need to come
Karen
on
is
cam?
available. You don't need to be on cam. But as someone who has played a past game with me, I have just a very, very important question. I had to leave this off last. If you can compare and this tribal to a natural disaster, what would you?
Is that really my question?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, it is.
okay.
Do you want a better
Um,
question?
This tribal, well, why don't we just say it's a tornado? We were all one world and then we've been swept away. Some of us got carried onto Sahir. Is that how we say our tribe name? Sahir. We got carried over here. We're now, in the land of Oz or whatever this tribe is. Hopefully the storm has passed, like with the tornado, it doesn't last too long, question mark. Yeah, tornado. We'll go with that. Fuck this question.
I had to do it to somebody. It's like someone had to do it. Someone had to answer, and just thought, give it to Karen. She'll be a good sport about it. But although Karen is off camera, I know Zach is off camera. Nah, don't need to be if you don't need to feel that way. But Karen is on camera, so it's really just Zach. It's really all Zach's fault for ruining this. But show of hands. Raise your hands if you think you're on the right side of the vote. You think that the person you voted off tonight's the person who's going home. Raise your hand.
I'll verbally say no.
Okay, well this. One confident hand and then one reluctant hand. Raise your hand if you think you're receiving votes. I think Pete's raising his hand, and Jake and Sunshine also raising their hand. Okay, and Jake is so strong, feels so strongly about getting votes that he raised his hand both physically and raise your hand.
Wait, I never touched. Did someone raise my hand for me?
I did not touch anything.
I think you clicked the raise a hand.
No, I was typing over here. Oh my gosh, my phone just knows, y'all. That's crazy. Okay, sorry. Anyways, sorry. Okay.
Perfectly. Now, last question. Raise your hand if you think you're going home. One thing if you be getting votes, it's another thing if you think you're going to be sent home tonight. I'll see a couple teetering, a bit uncertain, someone covering their face. But yeah, no, this is the last opportunity to lock in your votes. Some of you guys have pre-voted. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for all cooperating with us. I'm just gonna collect all the votes, make sure I got everything. I got this cute little box full of little names up in here, y'all. So it's gonna be very exciting. So please send in your votes when you guys are ready. Give you guys a couple minutes, like till 10:20.
Do you want us to like bump the votes if that's easier for you? If we're keeping it or changing it, whatever, or are we gonna make you work hard?
Whichever is more convenient for you guys. If you guys want me to work hard.
Okay, period.
Do y'all have any shout outs?
Yes, I was about to. Shout out to the lovely Michael Hearn for being in my pod chat for the second time. He's a gem. He's a babe. Love him so much. And shout out to Corey over in CTC. Root for my boy. I'm in his pod chat. Hope he wins, becoming the Sandra of CTC. I don't know if there's already one, but yeah. Shout out to Corey and Hearn.
I want to be here without my lovely Zach Shelley translator Nick Manna in my prod chat. He helped keeps Tawny sane. Thank you very much, Nick. We stan you. Yeah, cool. And I guess my other product guess is okay. You don't get to be named. Cool.
Yeah, I obviously have to do my shout outs. Shout out to my prod guests. You know who you are. Shout out to the one, the only, the king himself, Marcelo. If Marcelo's getting a shout out, you know that means Olivia Rodrigo, oh my God, Sabrina Carpenter, Selena as well. You know what? She's a queen. Anyone Marcelo feels deserves a shout out, you get a shout out. Shout out Mikey's prod guest from Distortion season 2. Love y'all. I guess that does technically include Mac. It's a joke. Anyway, shout out to my 2 cats. They're at home. Shout out to all the animals here at the hospital. Shout out to Magic. Spooky season. Shout out to
Any more shout outs? Did you leave Cat TV on for Twiggy? Just reading Tony's question.
I did not. I cannot trust her when I'm not there to make sure she doesn't knock over the TV when she's trying to attack a squirrel.
Well, I'm impatient. I said 10:20, but it's 10:19, and everyone seemed to have locked in their votes. Thank you guys all for cooperating. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol or any advance they would like to play, now is the time to do so. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, that's been the window. It's been closed now. You do not want to see your name written down. I'll read the votes, and the person who gets sent home just has a few moments to gather his, or in Karen's case, her belongings, and walk right out to the dock of shame, wherever the place that you guys go off to cry about getting first boot is. First vote, Sunshine. Second vote, Tanner. 1 vote Sunshine, 1 vote Tanner. Third vote, Sunshine. Fourth vote, Sunshine. That's 3 votes Sunshine. Fifth vote, Sunshine. That's 4 votes Sunshine, 1 vote Tanner. The first person voted off of Spellbound Survivor Season 1, Sunshine. Sunshine.
Good job, guys.
Any last words, any final words that you would like to share with Sahir?
No, I don't have any words. I'll see you guys soon. Adios. Enjoy. It was nice meeting the people that I haven't met. But take care, folks.
Game, Sunshine.
Awesome. Peace.
All right, then. Well, it seems like you guys were harmonious this round too. Not single votes, other than the Tanner vote was casted against Sunshine. Let's see how long that harmony can be maintained. You may have